Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Two Asian Blokes Podcast, a podcast where we talk about Asian pop culture, films, TV shows, comic books, anime, music, food, video games, whatever we're feeling at the time, really. My name is Dan with Hayton. With me, as always, he's my co-host, Tavi. Hello, Tavi.
What's up, Dan? Went a bit of quick fire there. You kind of started off slow.
I'm getting better at it.
Then, yeah.
It's only been, what, like 2 years?
Has it been that long? Has it been 2 years?
A little over a year, I reckon.
We've been doing this for like nearly a year and a half.
Yeah.
Nearly.
Yeah. How you doing? You good?
Yeah, it's a bit warm.
It is a bit warm. Yes.
Yeah. At some point, I might give up and turn on this fan. So he's gonna have to deal with more shit.
We're recording fairly late at night, but still not late enough for the heat to die down completely.
Yeah, summer usually tends to wind down during this time of year. It's like late Feb now.
It's been a weird summer though.
Yeah.
It
has been a weird summer. We had like a cold spell, which, if you ask me, couldn't have lasted longer. Like, you know, it was nice.
Yeah.
Got stuff done. Could concentrate. Had a clear head. Had good sleep. Yeah. Like I'm one of those Grinches that like gets annoyed when I watch the news and it was, we can't wait for more like summer heat. You know, bloody Lavinia, that's fantastic.
I think both of us are not really beach people. Fucking hate the sunshine.
It's like, we're looking forward to seeing some more summer weather.
Gonna get that summer glow.
I mean, like. All right, I like sunshine as much as the next person.
I don't think you do, I think you could take it or leave it, I reckon.
But I do enjoy a nice day when the sun is out and it's bearable. Yeah. When it's like, 25 or something like that.
I like it when I'm on holiday. Fine. When I have to work in the heat, I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think like it was pretty warm when we were in New Zealand, which I still haven't done anything about. But
that footage is coming soon. I swear we did film while we were over there.
Yeah, we were in New Zealand. Yeah, we talked about a couple of films that were on our best and worst list, and yeah,
they're gonna be 4 years old by the time we actually release those episodes.
Yeah.
But all that aside, summer aside, heat aside, I spent today watching 2 movies, which is, I mean, like, it's good to just stay indoors sometimes and have a lazy Sunday and just watch shit.
Yeah, no, I definitely know that. I've already watched like 44 movies this year.
Damn, that's a lot of movies.
Because I've rewatched a few movies.
Right.
So maybe like 40 or 38 or something like that.
Are you prepping for Oscar season? Are you?
Yeah, I've seen all except Women Talking, which I will eventually plan to watch at Pentridge at some point. I was actually going to go watch it. We had like a 41-degree day, and I was going to go watch it.
Celsius.
Celsius, yeah. And
it's fucking hot.
I just thought, like, yeah, it's hot, and it seems like one of those movies where you really, like, have to think. So I went to go watch Operation Fortune Ruse de Guerre.
Sure.
Is that what it's? Yeah. It was. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah. It's a pretty fun movie. Like, yeah, it's a wait for stream one, I reckon.
Looks more like a Statham film than it does a Guy Ritchie film.
A Guy Ritchie film. Yeah. It's definitely more in line with The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which I thought was just okay as well.
A lot of people like that film. I thought it was just okay as well. But
yeah. Oh, really? I didn't realize it.
I think it's mostly Henry Cavill stands, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's if you like that movie, you'll like this movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Got a return of Josh Hartnett in it. I do.
Oh yeah. He's pretty funny. Yeah. That guy doesn't seem to age. Like, he looks the same.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't been working for a while, so maybe he's just been taking care of himself.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he still looks the same as he did like maybe 10 years ago. I reckon, that guy.
He turned down Batman.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
no, I didn't know that.
I like Chris Nolan's Batman. Yeah.
Okay.
So that guy could have had a different career trajectory, I reckon. But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you I mean, we're trying to do somewhat of a new segment because we've stopped doing our monthly movie reviews.
Oh, shall we test that segment today? Like, I guess we kind of just have. So, Do we have a working title for this segment?
I mean, we don't even have this. It's just like, what did you...
What you've been watching? What you've been watching, basically.
Yeah.
Well, I've been watching Physical 100, which I won't talk too much about because I think we might end up doing an episode about it. But basically, it's about Korean muscle people participating in games of strength and athletic finesse in a Squid Game-like arena format. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've watched a few episodes. I think we probably will. We should, because it's trending, and we want to do a clout chasing episode every now and again.
In typical Two Asian Blokes fashion, we'll probably review it once the trend is finished and everyone's forgotten about the show. But aside from that, I was watching The Last of Us. I think everybody has been watching The Last of Us, but I've only watched the first, I think, 3 episodes of it before my binge subscription finished.
I've watched 5.
Okay.
In my opinion, so far, you've watched the best episodes.
Okay.
Yeah, bit of a mixed feelings on episode 4 and 5. I think Neil Druckmann and whoever put all their cards and their efforts into writing episode 3, and then just kind of, all right, I guess we better finish making the game of the adaptation of the game, you know?
Okay.
Because we better actually shoot zombies and have a villain.
So what do you mean by that? Do you mean like the first 3 episodes are more creative? Do they take more creative license with the show, or?
Well,
because I haven't played the games, so that's
right. Yeah. Well, episode 3 was the biggest departure because it has who was it? Frank and
spoilers for The Last of Us.
Okay. it's Frank and what's the main guy's Ron Swanson's character?
Well, I haven't watched that actually, so maybe I've only watched the first 2 episodes.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen Ron Swanson yet, so I don't know what.
You haven't.
What he is. I've seen like stuff on the internet about it, but like.
So it's basically a gay love story. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Okay, you didn't know that. See, so I've seen stuff, So. Yeah, it's just like,
Is that not in the game then?
It's in the game, but it's just much more fleshed out in the 3rd episode.
Yeah, okay.
But it's fleshed out really well. Like, it's actually quite a refreshing take on the kind of doom and gloom of the show.
Okay, which probably makes their eventual death more heartbreaking, right?
Yeah,
I assume they die because everybody this universe is fucking bleak.
But no, it's done pretty well. Like it's done with a lot of care. Like it's probably one of the better representations of I guess what LGBTQ plus. I guess it's being Pride Month and all. Like it'd probably be a good episode to watch. But yeah, it's done really well. The second episode, which you have seen, was just it kind of showed the interaction of Clickers and Joel and fighting through kind of in a bit more realistic manner than the game, which I appreciated. Because in the game, you're killing like hundreds of the fuckers, you're just like smacking them in the face and choke holding them.
But that's like a gameplay mechanic, right? It's like your characters in any video game is somewhat invincible because you're the one controlling them, right? So
But they're a bit less invincible in the second episode. But I think it was just very, very well done. It was very tense throughout. And then I think the first episode was just setting up the world pretty well. And it just had that look pretty well. And I liked the initial, death of the daughter. That I think that scene was adapted pretty well too. Changing a couple of things, but still keeping into the universe of the game. The 4th episode still have the look, but I think there's kind of some introduction to characters that aren't in the game that I didn't particularly like.
Okay.
And then it kind of breaks the human attribute, like being shit with guns. And then it's like it's a bit of a spoiler, but like suddenly Joel is like American Sniper.
But my impression of him as a character at the moment is like he's pretty he's capable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Like he seems like he's ex-military or something. So I don't know. Like it's so far, it's been pretty good. I've been trying to avoid stuff on the internet for the most part because, like,
yeah. And then I've just told you.
No, I mean it's fine. Like, it's hard to avoid. Like,
it's hard to avoid the most popular show at the moment. It's like 4 and 5. They're still enjoyable, but just thinking about it now, they're kind of becoming a bit more video gamey, maybe.
Oh, okay.
That is kind of like takes away from some of the realism of the show. It's funny because I was talking about like the show I wanted to see Joel shank more people and choke hold more people. But yeah, and I think another aspect is just my personal lack of violence. Even though the show's quite violent, you'll notice there's a marquee scene and it's kind of like supposed to be really cool, but there's just too much cutting away from some of the action that like I want the sadness level.
Got to keep that PG rating, I guess.
It's not PG though. It's MA, but it's just like when you compare it to the games, it's like it's very watered down, and it's like At first I thought like after the first phase, like the dude's probably proven me wrong, but I don't know. We'll see where we go.
Yeah, I mean, the first couple of episodes have not been overly violent. Like, the thing about The Last of Us, from what I know of it, it's like, it's violent, but I've always thought of the violence as like a kind of like a consequence of the gameplay mechanics rather than a necessity to the storytelling. So when they said they were going to tone down the violence of it, I was like, oh, yeah, it might still be okay. And, I mean, a lot of the praise for the show has come from, like, how like close to the games they make it look and feel, as well as the performances, the strength of the performances. So I'm just interested to see like whether, as somebody that hasn't played the games, whether it stands on its own feet as a show rather than like a comparison to the game.
Yeah, I think it's still good. It's just like like I'd almost rather play the game still, because 4 and 5 show the show's pacing issues, I think. Because there's only 4 episodes left, and now there's suddenly a lot to cover from where they are in the game and in the show. Like, it's still pretty early days in the game, so I was like, I'm surprised they've taken this long to...
So they're definitely going to cover the whole game in one season?
Just the first game, I think that's what they've said, Okay. So, anyway.
We'll see how it goes. And that was our segment. What are you watching at the moment?
Last of Us.
Shall we get to the main body of the episode, though?
Yeah.
What are we talking about today, Tavi?
Yeah, we got another random episode. We're featuring one of our favorite actors again. We're back with Madon Suk playing a very similar role to basically all of his movies. Just being a tough badass. But we're covering the gangster, the cop, the devil. Not and the devil, it's just the devil.
In that order.
Yes.
I mean, we'll probably mess up the order of that title during the course of this episode. But yes, the gangster, the cop, the devil.
So pretty simple plot. Basically, a gangster and a cop team up to try to chase down a serial killer, and hijinks ensue.
That's it.
It's a very simple movie. Very very fun movie. I quite enjoyed this movie.
This is one of those fun action films. Similar to the Roundup and the Outlaws that we have talked about before. But while those were kind of like straightforward gangster versus cop films, this has the added element of a serial killer, which I mean, you would think it would add a certain like griminess to the narrative, but it doesn't add that much like gore.
It's quite a light it's quite a light watch. But I think like me being, I guess my reputation is just a gore hound now, even though I watch movies like 20th Century Girl. But like when I talk about like the level of violence in movies, I think this one is a good one where it's not too heavy, but like it's still quite impactful. So it's quite fun and light in that sense. I think Korean movies generally do that pretty well when it comes to the action scenes in their movies. Like, they're not always necessarily violent, but I think it's the action has impact, because a lot of Korean movies do burly brawls quite well, and there's no lack of burly brawls in this movie. There's quite a few of them, actually. So there's always a lot going on screen, and I'm kind of like, I'm a big fan of those kind of action scenes because I always think, how hard would that be to direct when it's just much easier to just like shoot close-ups and just cut everything like Taken.
I mean, like, because of the amount of bodies on the screen during those scenes, like it does kind of have like a messy look to it, but it's also quite designed and quite stylized. Like you think of movies like this one and like what's it called?
Or like a Dirty Carnival. Even Night in Paradise. Just any number of Korean gangster flicks. What was that movie we saw ages ago, and it's got like
City of Violence?
The massive belly. Yeah, City of Violence.
That's a classic.
Bittersweet Life.
Any movie, any Korean movie where there's like just a bunch of people fighting another bunch of people, it's like they do those really well. I think a lot of it comes down to the sound design and the like unchoreographed look of the choreographed fight scenes. If that makes sense.
Definitely,
they do look quite good. And when you have someone as like Ma Dong-suk as like a core part of these fight scenes, you know, like he's quite an imposing figure, so he stands out like in amongst all of the scrubs that are trying to take him down, I guess. It is fun. I'm just thinking about like the serial killer aspect of this film. Like when I saw the title, the gangster, the cop, the devil, like just the wording, the devil, I kind of expected like I saw the devil kind of vibe, but it's not really that, right?
It's quite light.
Like he kills people, but they're mostly dudes.
So I think I was gonna make a comment on that. So like, I think the cop at one point says a serial killer doesn't target women as much. It's like, that's true. It's kind of like makes it a bit more palatable, I suppose.
Definitely.
Like killing dudes.
He's less of a monster than the guy from like I Saw the Devil.
Most definitely. I mean, like, we like, even though I love that fucking movie, like it's one of the best movies of all time, but like, I mean, I genuinely don't enjoy watching women get beaten up, you know? And I think like most dudes don't, right? Yeah, chopped up, beaten up. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I don't know about you.
Oh yeah, like it's more uncomfortable to watch than something like this for sure, right? Like
it's kind of like
even the level of gore is not on the same level. Like he's killing these people, but he's not decapitating them or anything, you know. Like he's just stabbing them a bunch and leaving them in their car. And they all seem pretty unlikable as well, to be honest. And like I think the fact that you can put like a face to it, like he's revealed quite early in the film. Like you see what he looks like in the film. He's like this kind of dweeby looking guy with a Bruce Lee haircut. It's kind of like, he's not the devil, I reckon, like that the title makes him out to be. He's just kind of like it's just a dweeb, I guess.
He's one of the, maybe even the weaker aspects of the three, maybe.
I think he's unlikable enough so that you're not rooting for him at any given point. You're always rooting for Ma Dong-suk's character, Jang Dong-soo, as well as the cop that he allies with, who is Tae-suk?
Yeah.
Is that his name? Hang on.
Yeah, that's the character's name. I don't know the actor's name. Kim Moo-yeol. Anyway, the detective.
I mean, we'll just refer to them as the gangster, the cop, and the devil, as the title suggests.
But he is a detective. And I guess the way that the movie makes you really get on their sides is pretty like efficient and effective. Like because the modus operandi, is that what his serial killer method is called? I don't know. I forgot. All right, whatever. Latin people or other some snob can correct me in the comments. But anyway, the devil's modus operandi is that he will like hit you with his car if you're driving.
He'll rear-end you. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and then he'll be like, "Oh yeah, sorry, man." Like, you know, he'll come out. And then, like, when you least expect it, he'll start saying, and then he'll just leave you behind. Which is, not, if you think about it, not really the best method because, like, I mean, I'm assuming there's a lot of CCTV. But anyway, you go along with it. But yeah, he basically tries to do that to Ma Dong-suk, who is, like, the leader of this gang. And he's a tough motherfucker. So he tries to do it to Ma Dong-suk. but he gets a bit wrecked.
I mean, if I was him, if I rear end this guy and Ma Dong-seok gets out of the car, I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna try anything.
Disorder. Like I guess it's maybe hubris.
I don't think this guy is very clever. I don't think he's meant to be that clever. Really, he's just kind of like going on animal instinct for the most part.
Well, the cops kind of try to make him to be clever because they're like, he's a different kind of serial killer because he doesn't kill women.
Well, yeah, I mean that is a point of difference. I guess that doesn't make him clever.
I think the way that they like shot the scene, I don't quite remember, but it's just they kind of make him seem like he's like a one-of-a-kind serial killer.
Sure.
But he's just like, he's a non-misogynistic Korean serial killer.
Yeah. Like at first I thought he was targeting crime bosses. Like the first guy he kills in the opening scene, I'm like, he just seems like a normal guy, but he could be a crime boss. Like you don't really know any background. So it took me a while to figure out that, oh no, he's just picking his victims at random. This is not a targeted thing. Like I thought he might have like a deeper motive on like maybe he's taking down organized crime, he's some kind of vigilante or something. But no, he just happened to come across Ma Dong-seok's character, the gangster, and gets fucked up pretty much.
Yeah, this movie definitely borrows a lot from its Korean contemporaries. Like I saw the devil elements, there's the chaser elements near the end. There's the outlaws elements, because I think this was a 2019 movie and Outlaws was 17, so there's the outlaws element. Oh, there's memories of murder element as well, when the schoolgirl gets killed, but she gets killed off screen, so it's like makes it more palatable, I guess.
Was that a random attack as well, or was he surveilling them and picked her on purpose?
I think it's just so random.
Because that's a fucking big coincidence, though, right?
Yeah, because he's kind of like No, he's not following them.
He's not following them at that point. Like, there's no indication given that he's following them.
But, no, because he was just on the bus, because you see that scene. Because basically, Ma Dong-seok does a Totoro and gives like a umbrella to this girl, the schoolgirl, and then like the cop's there, and she's like, you shouldn't talk to him, and she's like, you're an asshole or whatever, something like that. Then she gets on the bus and there's that really clear shot of the guy.
Oh, like, is there? I didn't even notice that.
You can see him when the bus drives across, you can see like his haircut. So he's on the bus.
Okay, that makes sense then.
But I don't know if he was surveilling them or if he was
just happened to be on the bus.
So he's just like, but he's on that bus.
I did not notice that.
So he's on the bus, so...
Yeah, no wonder he killed her. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it wasn't, just random. There was some build-up. But I think most of the tension is not really about chasing the serial killer. It's actually... A lot of it is the gangster and the cop dynamic, because they obviously both don't like each other very much. Well, the cop wants to catch the serial killer first so he can be brought to justice, and Ma Dong-seok wants to catch the devil because he wants to fucking kill him for revenge. Yeah, so there's a kind of like, they end up agreeing to work with each other, but it's like the catch is whoever gets the devil first gets to keep him. But there's always that kind of like betrayal.
Because they don't trust each other. They're on different sides of the law. This cop is always like saying that after this is over, I'm gonna fucking bust you. And meanwhile, like the gangster is using the serial killer as a means to dispatch his like gang rivals as well. I thought that was really interesting. Actually, I wasn't expecting that. Like it was like it happened right after they teamed up. And there's like a montage of them kind of like making moves to kind of like assembling their team of cops and their team of gangsters to try to catch this guy. And then Ma Dong-seok's character's like, but first, let's take care of Sang-do. Then like his henchman is like doing a Hugo Stiglitz and putting a pillow on his face and stabbing him. I'm like, whoa, okay. Maybe Ma Dong-seok's character's not a good guy.
Well, he's not supposed to be. I wonder if that's the... because the movie says this is based on a true story.
Okay.
So I wonder if that plot element happened in real life.
It makes sense. Like from like a character standpoint, it makes total sense that a shady gangster would definitely take that opportunity. But yeah, and like narratively, it kind of works as well because it drives the wedge between the two like further. Like you kind of want their alliance to be uneasy throughout the film. Otherwise, like there's not that much conflict. Like you said, like them catching the devil is like an inevitability, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, like as an audience member, you're never in doubt that they're going to catch this guy.
Yeah, it's not even a spoiler. It's just
the guy's got no charisma at all. Like you don't want him to get away with anything. You're just waiting for them to catch him and like punish him, basically.
Yeah, he's. I honestly don't remember too much of the performance of the devil character. Like,
he's got a Bruce Lee haircut.
He's unlikable. Yeah, you said he's unlikable enough, but he's not memorable, unlikable. I only watched this movie like 2 days ago, and I remember feeling like, oh, I want those guys to catch and kill this motherfucker.
He's just crazy. He's just crazy, a crazy guy.
Yeah.
Like there's a scene where like he like kills a guy at a truck stop because he wants his truck, and like he overhears like the guy's conversation. He's like, oh, if you're not going to take care of your kid, maybe not have kids. So it kind of hints towards him having a shitty childhood or whatever. And then there's like a kind of a funny scene where he's like driving away in his truck, in the stolen, like his victim's truck, and he's like eating the birthday cake that the guy had bought for his kid. And then like his friend like comes out of the truck's cabin and he's like, huh? Who are you? He's kind of like just laughing maniacally. So yeah, I mean there are like little bits and pieces where they kind of build a character for him, but the character is just a one-dimensional crazy person. Yeah.
The actor that I'm looking here, Kim Sung-kyu, I wonder if he is as popular as Ma Dong-seok or even the cop.
I doubt
Kim
it.
Yoo-yeon.
I mean, he's quite like plain looking as well, and I feel like that's probably why they chose him to an extent, right? Oh, he was in the Outlaws apparently.
I saw that. Yeah, I think he plays like one of the rookie cops, like one that tries to quit in that. But I think overall, like it's not the best Ma Dong-seok movie that I've seen, but it's definitely an easy watch. Like you know exactly where the plot is going, save the Ma Dong-seok using his like right hand man to dispatch his rival. That was unexpected. But like ultimately the end is quite predictable because they do catch the guy and he does like the typical like acting crazy kind of thing. Like he doesn't really care that he's been caught. So Ma Dong-seok catches him basically and drags him to a place to torture and kill him. Yeah, that's right. And like the guy's just like, do it, fucking do it, or whatever, because he's a crazy motherfucker. But then, the cop busts in and breaks up the party and runs over the gangster and arrests the devil, basically. That's a very common trope, don't you reckon? The, like, serial killer who doesn't actually care about his own life.
Definitely, yeah.
In Korean movies. I've even used that trope. I'm just thinking of something.
Yeah, 100%. I think, I mean, it's like Joker-esque or Riddler-esque or whatever. Yeah. Like, there's just, like, people that want to watch the world burn. Kind of
like in Emergency Declaration as well.
Yeah.
But that guy actually pulls through with killing himself.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like that trope kind of robs a villain of a character. Do you know what I mean? Because they don't really have a motivation. They're just a troll at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Which is not as interesting as somebody that wants to actually accomplish something.
Well, I think it is interesting if it's done well. I mean, it all really started with the Joker in The Dark Knight. It's like the time that character kind of went into the mainstream, where they're not really driven by the motivation, and then everybody wanted to be the Joker after that. So he just like, let's write a lot of our characters like that.
I guess so.
I quite like that trope. I like the idea that some people just want to watch the world burn.
But it's kind of like,
I don't condone it, but it's like,
if the villain doesn't care if they're caught or not, like why should the audience care?
I guess it's because he's just going to keep doing stuff because it's fun.
Yeah, I guess, but like, I don't know.
You don't want a guy to go around to keep killing people.
But it takes the punishment of the villain, like not it kind of takes away from like the gratification of punishing him as well. And I feel like that's probably part of like the feeling that they're trying to go for, because like even when Ma Dong-seok's character is about to torture this guy, like the guy's just laughing and stuff, and like I guess like as the gangster you would feel frustrated that this guy doesn't even care that you're like about what you're about to do to him. But I don't know, I feel like that character wasn't really even a character at the end of the day. The story was mostly about the gangster and the cop.
Yeah, maybe there does need to be at least one thing, because Choi Min-sik's character in I Saw the Devil
I was going to compare
has
that.
seemingly no motivation.
Yeah.
But without spoiling it, because I don't want to spoil that movie, but he does.
He does have a weakness.
Yeah. He has a weakness. I think I'm just thinking now, you're probably right. I think there's always like that serial killer that tries to act tough and say, I want to watch the world burn. But it is much more interesting when they have at least one weakness. And then it's kind of makes it go, oh, a little bit of fear. So yeah, you're probably right. Like I think
Like I think even like that Dark Knight comparison, even the Joker in that movie had kind of a weakness, like in that boat scene when they didn't blow each other up. He kind of lost that fight.
Yeah, because he didn't like. Yeah, you're right. I mean, he didn't want to watch the world burn, but he didn't want to be. He wanted to prove.
He wanted to prove a point.
People.
Yeah, and that point, it got turned on its head. Yeah. So like for this kind of character in The Gangster, the Cop, the Devil is kind of like, all right, you're crazy. I get it. So I mean, but like that aside, I think the dynamic between the gangster and the cop was really good. I feel like. They're both kind of thugs, and they kind of get to understand that they're working together. It's not like they never get to a point where they're like in love with each other, as like some movies tend to
as buddies. To
lean towards. There's always like an animosity between them and like the people that they're working with.
Yeah, even at the end, it's just like I feel like they never liked each other. It's just like
their last interaction is like Ma Dong-seok beating up this cop and like saying, "You got a lot of nerve to show your face in front of me."
Yeah, because Ma Dong-seok goes into hiding, and they need his testimony. Because I forgot, because like the guy goes to court, and for whatever reason, they can't prove that he did those
all the
killings.
evidence they have against the devil is circumstantial.
Yeah.
So they need the gangster's testimony to seal the deal and give him the death penalty.
Yeah, this is the chaser elements. It's like the unjust Korean.
Yeah, I didn't expect this part of the story.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to end with them catching the guy, but then there was like a whole like courtroom scene. I was like, okay, sure. I'm there for it.
I think Koreans like doing that, like, being oppressed feeling, I mean, we always talk about Han and whatever. So it's like the justice system, that's it. It's just like not looking after them. It's just like there's always someone that's above you that is just trying to stop what you're doing and just put like bureaucratic red tape. Even though he's like, the motherfucker has clearly killed people.
He's like admitted to killing people as well.
He's admitted to killing people. He's tried to kill cops as well. But they're like, nah, we need more. Like, what do you want? Like, this is the police force trying to tell you, bro. This guy tried to fucking kill me. I've seen this guy kill people. He's like, nah, we need, like, just need more. Like, what do you want? Like, So, like, Koreans do, like, workplace frustration pretty well. Because there's a bit where like there's a rivalry between his department, which I don't remember, like homicide or something.
It's like the serious crimes unit comes in to try to solve their case for them.
Yeah, and then there's always like they're really Korean movies. They always do really well with like the other team coming in and then saying something like that you would never say to someone's face, but it probably happens more than it's like, you guys just keep fucking everything up.
I mean, we haven't been around a lot of like police station workplaces, but it's pretty unprofessional. But like that's the Korean police force in movies. In Korean movies, they're always portrayed as really unprofessional and just really bad at their jobs.
But I think it does happen. Not even just Korean workplaces in work. I've seen it happen in a workplace. I'm not going to name the workplace, but like I've definitely seen people calling each other like C words.
Yeah, okay.
And like useless and all that. So I'm like, oh, that's quite unexpected.
Sure.
But yeah.
There are some toxic work environments out there, for sure. But yeah, like this kind of interplay in the police force and then ultimately in the courtroom as well, that kind of like culminates in the gangster coming forth to give his testimony, but under one condition.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it kind of presents this moral dilemma that's not really addressed in the movie, but like it's always there. But like it's dealt with in such a light manner.
Yeah.
So basically, like you mentioned before, the cop wants to catch the devil so that the devil can serve justice and go through like the proper procedures, whereas the gangster wants to catch the devil so he can like kill him out of revenge. But like the compromise they come to is basically so they arrest the devil and put him to trial. The devil ends up getting the death penalty because of the gangster's testimony, but then the gangster places the condition on the cops for his testimony that he'll only do it if they arrange it so that he's put in the same prison as the devil. So the last scene is like the devil having a shower at the prison. Like Matung Suk just waiting for him to finish with this big rope. And it's like, why though? Why even bother? Like, just let the gangster exact street justice on the devil if it's gonna come to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, I think it's maybe that Korean cynicism where it's just like, I want to do what's right because this is what, you know, society has deemed is the lawful thing. But just kind of showing, it's just like the justice system's a bit fucked. I had to go bring this dude in, like, where there's clearly, like, enough evidence. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know exactly if something like that would slide. But just on my own moral code and seeing what has happened in the movie, it's like, it's pretty obvious. Like, look at this guy, man. He's
look at his fucking Bruce Lee haircut. It's fucking evil.
But like, I think it's just like whatever. It's just like, you know, maybe street justice wins, or like just it's all the same. However it ends.
Yeah. And it's like it's played off as a laugh, kind of, right? Like it's meant to be kind of like a light ending, like. Dun, 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 devil's gonna get murdered in prison.
It's gonna get a bit owned, get a bit hung. Yeah.
But yeah, like I just found it like this is the kind of movie that I enjoy. It's just a light watch. But yeah, like the tone, the light tone with like the darkness that ending kind of implies, like in terms of the criminal justice system in Korea, is kind of like, oh yeah. I don't know about that, but yeah, it's a bit of fun.
Yeah, I think the issue with this movie is that maybe it's trying to be too many things. That's why I keep thinking like, this movie is I Saw the Devil, then it's Memories of Murder, then it's The Outlaws.
Yeah.
And it does all those elements like pretty competently, but there's not any level of elevation for me to remember.
Yeah.
Because I'm honestly actually really struggling to think of marquee moments in the movie.
You're right. It doesn't really lean into anything like as a tone, right? It's kind of like just treading water within all of these ideas.
Yeah. I mean, if you think of I Saw the Devil, there's like very memorable moments in that film.
Yeah.
Or even if you were talking about the more recent Outlaws we've seen, there's that final fight scene in the bathroom where all shit's just getting broken around. If you're thinking of Memories of Murder, just like the climax when the cop is chasing that innocent guy and it's just the frustration, you know? Whereas this movie, I don't think it's trying to be any of those movies. It is trying to be a light watch, but I think running the risk of it being such a light watch, it's not really that memorable. Because I walked into this movie, I saw the trailer, I'm like, this is going to be a fucking sick movie. Like, look how cool this movie looks. Like, it's oozing with everything that I like.
Yeah, the title alone as well.
Yeah, it's got this title, man. The Gangster, the Cop, and the Devil. This is like, man, I will watch this movie for like fucking 5 times. But like I don't really see myself really wanting to revisit this movie anytime soon.
Yeah, I understand that.
I think, yeah. It's definitely a good popcorn watch.
I enjoyed Ma Dong-suk as the gangster. I think it was like kind of... I love how gaudy he is. Like all of his like really elaborate suits and his like his hotel rooms or whatever that are like decorated with this really like over the top art. I like the fact that he's just wearing sunglasses indoors all the time. Like I don't think I've ever seen him play an actual gangster. You know what I mean? Like I've seen him
that's true.
play thug-like characters, but they're always probably like on the right side of the law. You know, like his character in Train to Busan is like a good guy. His character in The Outlaws is a detective. His character in The Eternals he's an Eternal. So, like he's always kind of like on the righteous side. So to see him as like this kind of shady underworld character, like obviously it fits because like you look at him and you know that he's like a guy to be feared, I guess. Like his face, it's not a leading man face, is it? It's like
not traditionally, but
it's like a thug's face.
Used to like Ma Dong-suk.
Yeah,
I find Ma Dong-suk very charismatic.
I find him likable as well. But like if I saw him on the street, I wouldn't, you know.
That's fair.
Yeah, like I did enjoy his portrayal of this kind of really over the top gangster. And I like the cop as well, actually. Like, I feel like they had good chemistry.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's what the director intended for them to have. This very, like, uneasy tension between the two. And, like, it goes throughout the whole movie. And I think it's pretty refreshing that they don't, like, end up falling in love, as you say.
Yeah. Because he's going through this whole film, like, after this is over, I'm going to bust you. I'm going to, like, send the whole force after you. And he does that. Like after they capture Devil, there's like a news like story about like how they're cracking down on Ma Dong-suk's particular brand of crime. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's fair. Like he said he was going to do that.
Oh man, I'm just having a look at Ma Dong-suk's filmography and his upcoming movies, and apparently there's going to be like 5 roundup movies like all together, so they're making like 3 more. I'd be happy to watch them all, but I don't know, 5, that's a lot of movies.
Like considering that the first thing. 2 were basically the same movie. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be like a fast saga though. Maybe there's going to be like they're not going to be episodic. Maybe it's going to lead to something.
I prefer to watch the Roundup saga than the Fast saga.
Oh yeah, that's not surprising.
That's actually not surprising at all.
Ma has been an amateur arm wrestler since 2008, and he became the president of Korea Arm Wrestling Federation in 2018. There's an interesting Ma Dong-suk fact for you.
There you go. I mean, he's definitely got some big fucking arms.
Yeah.
Doesn't he like? I'm not sure if my mind is just thinking this scene up, but does he like crush someone with his biceps, like in between his biceps?
Yeah, he snaps someone's neck. He does that. It's in like one of the Burley Brawls. Yeah, he's like got someone in a headlock, and then you just hear a crunch sound, and the guy drops. Yeah.
There was a fair bit of killing in this movie. Actually,
not so much by the cop. I think the cop kills a guy and he's like pretty broken up about it.
Out,
Whereas the gangster is like, I kill people all the time. It's not a big deal.
Because the cop like accidentally kills that guy. Like he like slips on his knife. It's like, oh shit. Am I gonna die?
Kind of another interesting layer to the cop, because like I wouldn't have expected like that character to get so broken up about killing a criminal, I guess.
Yeah.
But like I guess it kind of highlights like his sense of justice, I guess. Yeah, like everybody deserves a trial. So you presume that this is the first time he's actually killed a criminal.
It's a bit of a common trope though, like cop killing someone and then being broken up about it. We see it in a lot of movies, which I guess makes sense. But like, I don't think everyone is going to freak out that much if they've killed someone.
Yeah.
Like, I think I was watching some YouTube video talking about, I think it's like these ex-military or like special forces and cops, and they talk about like their experience when they did their first kill. I think some of them, just like didn't really think that much of it at the time. It's just like, that and serial killers as well was.
I mean, they tend to really enjoy their first kill, and that's why they're always seeking the next one, because they're trying to recreate that feeling.
Yeah. just gotta rear in the next car and do a couple of sky.
Yeah. I wonder why, like, if he chose his victims or if he's just rear-ending random people, like, whenever he gets the opportunity. Because, like, his victims were all male. Whether or not that's a coincidence is, you don't really know. Right? Yeah. But, like, I find it hard to believe that he's seen Ma Dong-seok driving the car and been like, okay, yeah, that's my next victim. That seems like an easy kill.
Yeah, like a lot of the times when serial killers are depicted in film, they're always like kind of doing it for the art factor. They always try to, they've always got some weird motive for their targets. But like, this guy is just like, it's just pretty random. It's like, woo! Just like, fucking just kill anyone. And like, he just suddenly changes his method. It's like, I'm just going to kill schoolgirl on the bus or something.
I just can't stop killing people. Here I go killing again.
Yeah, he's
Combobulous Michael. I just love killing.
I just love killing. Yeah, that's basically, I feel like the devil should have been a more interesting character, maybe.
Yeah,
just like,
he wasn't very...
he just loves killing. That's basically, that's why he's his motivation.
I was telling you I was going to propose a regular question, hopefully a regular question. We'll see how this question plays in the next couple of episodes, but in the eventually terrible Western remake of this film.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the rights have been bought.
Oh, really?
Somewhere.
It's not entirely surprising. Often studios will buy the rights to something and just never do anything with it.
It's just on the wiki.
Okay.
Yeah, on
anyone we know, or is it Netflix?
It was announced that Sylvester Stallone and his Balboa Productions. Blah blah blah.
I could see that. Yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah. Honestly, this is a kind of movie that could be remade because there's not too much... there's like these cultural nuances, but they don't really play too much into the movie. Like, for example, even though they did, you couldn't remake A Tale of Two Sisters because that's like grounded in Korean folklore. You can't remake Kimi no Na wa because, that's just Kimi no Na wa. It's like a lot of very Asian
they
stuff.
have done A Tale of Two Sisters, and they are doing Kimi no Na wa, right?
So they're remaking all the wrong movies.
You say can't, but they're doing it, Tali.
They can't do it well.
So I guess that's the essence of this question is, like, doing it well aside, if you were going to make a Western remake of this film, who would you cast as the main characters?
Well, just reading here, I wouldn't mind seeing Sly. Sly could do it.
Sly playing the gangster or the cop?
Yeah.
The gangster?
As the gangster.
Oh, yeah. I never thought about... I didn't think... Like, I was actually stuck on the gangster character, but yeah, Sly makes sense.
Yeah. You could probably bring Statham as the cop, maybe. And then you bring that duo back, that awkward duo.
Yeah, I don't... I feel like they don't have enough chemistry. Their banter is bad. Like, their Expendables banter is bad.
Yeah, it's not great.
When I was watching the cop character, though, all I could see was Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, yeah, Mark Wahlberg.
Like, he's such a Mark Wahlberg character. He's always kind of like annoyed, but like in the face of someone like Ma Dong-seok, he can't really do much. He's kind of just a whiny bitch. Yeah. So that's who I would cast for the cop. Did you have any other ideas?
We got to pick a guy for the devil, yeah. I mean, you could bring like Christian Bale or maybe even like Ryan Gosling.
For the devil?
I don't know. Yeah.
I would do Paul Dano, I reckon.
Oh, yeah. Paul Dano, yeah.
Give him a Bruce Lee haircut. That's Paul Dano. Yeah.
Didn't he already play this role in the Batman?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like that kind of character, right? Like, just get him to sing Ave Maria again and... Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, Paul Dano. Yeah, no, Paul Dano is a good choice. Yeah. That kind of scrawny, unlikable, or maybe even Barry Keoghan.
Yeah.
Might be a good devil.
Yeah, any kind of like scrawny guy, I reckon would be okay with it. Yeah. Scrawny weirdo. I think there's no shortage of those in Hollywood, really.
Yeah.
Like we said, the devil character is not overly fleshed out, so yeah. You might not even need to get one of those names for them. You could just get like a rando.
Just get like Josh Duhamel or something.
Josh Duhamel, the most random man in Hollywood.
Just who would you get to direct it then?
I feel like this doesn't take much directing chops. Like it.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
No, really.
I mean, the obvious choice would be a Scorsese type guy, but I don't think you even need Scorsese. You like get a Scorsese-esque director, one of the young ones that is biting Scorsese. get him to do it. Todd Phillips, get Todd Phillips to do it.
You'd probably get like, I mean, if you want to try to keep the spirit, like the action spirit, you'd probably get one of those John Wick directors.
Oh,
the director of like Bullet Train.
Yeah, you're right.
Even though I didn't like Bullet Train, but like I feel like if he directed this movie, he'd do an alright job at it.
No, you would want
like,
somebody that knows fight choreography, I think, a bit.
So I'd probably get, what's his name? David Leitch.
Okay, yeah.
Either him or Chad Stahelski, because he's done the John Wick series. Yeah. So either one of those guys, I would probably get to do. Maybe even the Russo brothers, but they'd have to go Extraction style, not
Grey Man
movie.
The Grey Man.
Yeah, Grey Man. Yeah, I forgot the title of that. Yeah.
I mean, even if it's the Grey Man level of violence, it would be fine. I think. The Russos kind of tread this tone, right? It's like non-committal, dark slash light, right?
That's one of my big pet peeves of Hollywood. Actually, it's just like not committing to that level, because those movies are made to invite everyone to the party. But it's kind of like when you go to like maybe, I wonder if this is a clever analogy, but you go to like a Sichuan restaurant and then you want to really eat spicy food and you're looking forward to it, but then you got your token white friend that comes along. It's can't eat spicy food.
That's right. Yeah, this is like the company dinner. The company dinner of movies is like too much compromise, trying to make everyone happy and not pleasing anyone.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, it's just like, so you eat it and like, I mean, it tastes fine.
Yeah,
and it's like you don't have that hit. It's like this is completely fucking random, but in Hungry Jack's they had like this Carolina Reaper burger. And I'm like, I mean, I wonder if they're actually going to make it spicy. Even though deep in my heart, I knew they weren't going to make it spicy, but I was curious. I ordered it, and I feel like you get more spice in ketchup. It was like, I almost thought that they forgot to put the sauce on it, because it was just not spicy at all. I'm like, you call this Carolina Reaper? It's just like, tasty burger, but there's just no kick. It has some kick. It has some impact, Dan.
You gotta add some barbecue sauce sometimes.
just show a guy get shot and have blood come out. Even just CGI, it's fine. Yeah. Just like
have the victims be women. Yeah. I don't know.
That's all you can ask for. Yeah.
All right, I think that's us for this film. But guys, what do you think about the Gangster, the Cop, the Devil? If you've seen it, did you think it was a fun enough action film, or did you think it could have used a bit more spiciness? Let us know. You can get in touch with us at twoasianblokes@gmail.com. You can join our Facebook group to be part of the conversation, or you can follow us on Instagram at twoasianblokes to see what we're up to. Man, kind of hungry for a burger now, Tavi.
Maybe you're gonna have to go get a Carolina Reaper burger.
And travel back in time and get that underwhelming burger.
The Stranger Things burger.
Oh no, that was terrible. That was like, that was such a cash grab. I actually do not like it when burger places do little gimmicks based on movies, because like, it's a burger. It doesn't have anything to do with movies. You don't need to like force like a movie narrative on your burger. Just make a good burger, I reckon.
Well, there's always one that lives in my heart.
The Dark Whopper.
The Dark Whopper. The most ridiculous. Yeah. Cheapens the movie, but like
Whopper with barbecue sauce.
The Dark Whopper. It's got barbecue sauce. That's what makes it dark.
I guess because they stopped making toys for Happy Meals, they got to do something to tie movies into the fast food franchises. Anyway, all right, guys, take care of yourselves. Okay. See you next time for our next burger review.
I'll get out.
See ya.